Despite missing the first 7 games of the season with a thumb injury and Villanova struggling to put it together as a team, Cam Whitmore still performed well and showed off his immense upside during his freshman year. He's a 6'6", 6'7", 230-pound wing that won't turn 19 until summer league starts, and that, combined with his elite athleticism, scoring upside, and ability to make his presence felt on both ends, is a combination that will likely be hard to pass up in the top half of the lottery. The 2023 class is easily one of the most athletic ever, and Cam is for sure towards the top of it in that respect. It's rare for an 18-year-old to be 6'6", 230 pounds and also be able to explode quickly off the ground and functionally in a lot of situations in the ways that he can. And he should be an immediate plus athlete in the NBA. He's most powerful and comfortable off of 2 feet, but he'll get up off that left foot and the right too, though he did that more in high school than he did this season. He showed time in transition. He's powerful as a driver, which we'll get into a little more. I think he'll be a lap threat on cuts, and he gets up with ease in the dunker and roaming around the paint. The functionality and versatility is there, and these type of tools and abilities help unlock a lot in his game.
Whitmore accelerates. Willow's got to push. Oh, that's bad. Soars. It's Slater. It's Whitmore. Yeah, he had lost his dribble on a play by Dixon to keep it alive. Whitmore on the slam. He's still on the floor. They go to home run ball. Boom. Wow.
Now, it's not 100% there just yet, which is fine, but he has obvious high upside as a scorer and shot creator, and this is a big part of his appeal at the top of the draft. He's a remarkably strong and physical driver whenever he decides to be. He's got a very quick first step for a guy that size as well, and he finished at a nearly 65% clip when he got to the bucket, which is a great number. He's currently at his best in more straight line situations, often off the jab or a quick move and go, and especially going to his left. He did a great job of playing through and absorbing contact, and I just think as he gets into NBA spacing, this could be an area that he really takes off, both on more second side type of drives and those created in one-on-one situations or against more set defenses.
Whitmore, back the other way. He's a good defender, really showed his power there. Quick hands, quick feet, off the glass.
If you keep predicting stuff like that, I'm going to ask you for the mega millions company.
Empty side. This is where he is tough, I think, when they lift.
Whitmore's so good at going to the rim, very tough with that strength. On shot. And Whitmore going anywhere with the ball, Dave. Just stick it outside. There you go. Finally, Whitmore takes it.
That's an inside and one out for Shireman. Nothing doing.
Whitmore off the head. He didn't win that.
There's that crossover.
Whitmore.
How about that?
Whitmore. Nice move. Really.
He also showed a solid amount in terms of creation on the perimeter, particularly beyond the three-point line. He loves using step backs, misdirections, and side steps to create space and get his rhythm. He threw a few crossovers in there as well. And he was fairly comfortable doing it, though the percentages weren't there all the way yet, and he did tend to settle some. He was willing and identified opportunities of teams playing him under in the pick and roll as well, and did some impressive stuff there. But it's hard not to be intrigued by his combination of size, power, and skill set on the perimeter.
Basketball is about evolving, and that's what these teams are doing.
You know, most of those were white shirts. He just beat everybody to that rebound.
Whitmore. Little step to the left.
Athleticism, his length. Whitmore. 5 to shoot again for Villanova. Whitmore puts in a 3.
High rate.
His first 3 of the game, but you're right, shooting 45% to distribute against the clock. Gotta say that for the end, man. Whitmore.
On their dogs. Whitmore steps back.
Now, the on-ball upside is great, but I think he'll be an immediate impact guy off the ball given how effective he was as a cutter and mover, and also in knocking down catch and shoot threes where he was a lot more efficient than people might expect. But first, with the cuts, he did a great job reading the defense and timing from all parts of the floor. We're talking slot cuts, backdoors, corners, 45s. His ability to finish matched with being able to see gaps and hit them quickly is likely going to be a big part of his game in the future and should really shine next to NBA level playmakers.
Remember, post-ups, drives early.
And then Whitmore.
You know, it's
There's a cut by Whitmore necessary. Whitmore gets it right where he wants it.
Daniels keeps his pivot foot. Whitmore, athletic under the basket, lays it. Good feed, Whitmore.
I like this young guard Armstrong from Villanova.
And then while the three-point shot, I guess, is somewhat in question still, it has made a lot of progress over the last couple years, and especially off the catch. I think he can speed up the release some, but in terms of organization and energy transfer, he's on the right track for sure. He was at 40% on the year here, not crazy volume, but a little under 2 attempts a game. And if he's going to continue to be someone you have to respect here, and I think he will be, that's when things start to get scary and it opens up the rest of what he can do.
Whitmore from downtown. Layton goes with the trap on the Kalkbrenner show. Whitmore. Whitmore.
Inline drive. Whitmore. Contested three.
He's still got to be more consistent defensively, but his high moments were that as someone who can be a real versatile plus defender. He's quick enough to stick with players on the perimeter and actually spend a lot of time defending guards. He's big and strong enough to switch and defend up some, especially if the wingspan is as long as it's been rumored. And his steal rate was super high, making plays in passing lanes and getting deflections fairly often to have confidence in him here long term. And he's someone worth betting on that just has certain capabilities and room for error that most others don't.
And to sit a heavy dose of that first half, and remarkable that Villanova survived that with a at the rim.
Kind of right on target. Here we go. There's one and a step for Whitmore.
Nelson getting the touch. Oh, Whitmore takes it away on the red jam.
Also, with him on the floor this season, they are plus 73.
Whitmore.
More driving, gets straight to the basket. No.
Press a lot the ball.
You're going to give it right back. Whitmore behind the back. Euro down the lane.
But it is a magnificent, seamless.
Mismatch inside. Picked off by Whitmore.
Daniels, he's so good at that. Block a shot.
Uh-oh. Poor pass that time from Spears.
Prosper pump fake. It's a good one. And a
Villanova points.
And that's been a problem. They average 14 turnovers a game. Good slip.
Yeah, here's Holland, and he was open for a moment.
Everything, the explosiveness, the cutting, the three-point shooting. He's a can't-miss dynamic freshman. There's a great attack right there by Iguodala.
And Hopkins.
Wings up in transition.
More. Three. That's what they need. The Villanova's on to take this lead.
Jimmy and 4 fouls. No, bro. I was there. I was supportive.
One of the more pressing improvement areas for Cam is just in his playmaking and overall decision making with the ball. It wasn't just the low assist numbers. He had a tendency to get tunnel vision at times, forcing some shots at the rim and missing some potentially open teammates. He made some questionable decisions in terms of driving into traffic and thus turning the ball over, or just disrupting the sort of flow of things and making an inaccurate pass out. And heading to the next level and being a guy who, best case scenario, will have the ball in his hands to some varying degree, this is a key area for improvement.
Doing too much.
With frustration now by Daniels.
Whitmore studies the clock. Makes his move, takes a bump, and a steal.
Whitmore. Pass from Hausen. He's with pressure.
Front the post, it can be hard to get it inside.
Whitmore has to go over and
Field goal attempts. Whitmore on skates.
two freshmen in the backcourt here for Villanova with Armstrong and Whitmore. Whitmore off the hands. Gotta go.
Whitmore. 2.
Armstrong, Justin Moore, and Brandon Slater. 5 on the deck.
Play. You get issued one of these uniforms for a reason. Everyone needs to feel
Madison Square Garden and maybe make a deep run.
And first thing he said to us.
Contextually, Nova just wasn't great this year in terms of spacing, ball movement, and shooting. As a team, they were 311th out of 363 in assists per game, so it just wasn't a great offense in general. He had some passing flashes here and there and had more in the FIBA Americas last summer, but the overall reading the game and making quick decisions is something that'll be at the top of the list for him.
The reason why they're 3 and 5 right now.
Started coaching. This is what he wanted to do. Is really get after people.
Feeds Whitmore quickly, moves it around to Caleb.
Recupera el balón fácil, se lo dejan a Estados Unidos. Al costado picado y para el espectáculo número 13, que la figura de ese partido, uno de los referentes de Estados Unidos arriba para meter ese balón.
He was impressive in terms of body positioning and being able to string together moves at that size, but I would like to see Cam still tighten up the handle. Some of that might have been rust from the thumb surgery, but he can definitely be more efficient with the dribbles and look to handle the ball away from his body more and get outside his defender's body as well. Now he has the power and strength for this to matter less, especially if he makes that spin a signature of his, but there's growth to be had in order to maximize some of that potential he has on the ball.
Looking for a stop. They're down 7. Almost 7 minutes. Whitmore working on Shireman, a step back. That's a 2. Whitmore one more time. Oh, it's down 11 now that they've cut it to 3. Whitmore, front rim.
The defense in order to get Slater that open jump shot.
Good step away.
Whitmore.
Now on the other side of his defense, he just wasn't particularly consistent. He got caught ball watching and relaxing too often and allowed himself to be a step behind more than you'd like. The closeouts were a bit sloppy and it gave up some advantages and got him a few unnecessary fouls as well. And I think his screen navigation technique can get a lot better both at the point of attack and in off-ball situations. Now I will say that he was probably a bit overextended defending some of these guards, the Hawkins, the Sule Booms, Ryan Nembhard, but he was too often taken out of plays against a lot of different teams, and it should be a point of emphasis.
Nembhard turned down long, gives it up to Shireman, who's fouled by Whitmore by the 7'2" clinging. A little ignore. Kaluma gets Whitmore airborne and uses it.
You know they can win it. Yeah. It was just a ball runner in the corner.
15-footer. Doing a lot for him. I think he has put a lot of time and effort into what's going on.
Shoot. But use that frame to get it off the bounce and get you 15 feet, still be comfortable tonight.
Yes, you were.
Cam Whitmore will likely land in the top 10, but I take him closer to the top 6 or 7 because I do think he has all-star upside. It'll be a process for him in reaching that, but his combination of athleticism, shot creation, and two-way potential can certainly get him there. And then fit-wise, I like him a lot in both Charlotte and Indiana next to those star playmakers, and then Utah and Portland intrigue me as landing spots as well. This is one of the handful of comps I actually like. I think there are some real similarities between he and Miles Bridges on the court, of course. Bridges was more talented as a playmaker and Cam has more natural perimeter or wing skills, but I think they could have similar roles to what we last saw of Bridges in the NBA. And I wouldn't mind the Ant Edwards comp to an extent either, but I like this one better. Cam Whitmore is one of the most intriguing prospects in the entire class and also happens to be one of the youngest. While I think he'll be an already excellent off-ball complement, if he can continue to hit on that potential as an overall creator and playmaker and tighten up things defensively, there's a star-level two-way wing there that'll have an extensive highlight reel in the process, and for that, he should hear his name called pretty early on draft night.